Hello, everybody. Greetings, salutations, welcome, all of those fun things. I'm trying to line up my camera. I moved everything around when we were doing our dual stream episode with my wife on Tuesday. I realized that I hadn't completely tweaked everything back up, but hello, everybody. And welcome to something that is way beyond my comprehension sometimes. And that is episode 100. 100! How crazy is that? How do we even get here? How did this whole thing even happen? It's craziness. You all are amazing. A centurion, yeah, I know, it just blows my mind. I don't get it. Also, before we go any further, special shout out and heart love thanks to Nick Slottle, who has made and just sent a new emote to us.
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Spartacus. All of these loves today. Too much love.
I'm Spartacus.
Emmy,
I'm Spartacus.
thank you so much.
I'm Spartacus.
Oh, no, this
I'm
is
Spartacus.
Metrand being gifty person. Oh my goodness.
Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus. All of these Spartaci.
I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus.
I don't even know what to do with myself sometimes, you all. I don't even know.
I'm Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus.
I'm
Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. Spartacus.
So many Spartaci.
I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus.
Cheers.
I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus.
Metrand, thank you so much for those gift subs. Emmy, Jaina, Martest, Cryonics, Cordelio. Welcome, Metrand. That's very generous. Many thanks, my friend. Thank you to everybody that has come out for the last 2 years and turned this into something that has been an amazingly positive force in my life. And you all are awesome people. I can't say thank you enough in a way that would properly construct the way that I feel. So you'll just have to take the crappy little fumbling words that I'm offering as the best that I've got for the moment. But you all rock. It would not be the same if you all were not here. I really do appreciate it. And I have something rather special planned for the night. And this is actually something that I kind of came up with after looking at people's suggestions for what to do on tonight's stream and trying to figure out a way to merge all of these different disparate ideas into something that would sort of cohese and gel together. And it didn't really strike me as the way to actually fix this and make this thing happen until in the middle of our stream Tuesday. You can say thank you enough, but apparently a hotel with hot tub is $100,000. The closest hotel.
I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus.
Holy crap, tuna.
I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus.
Tuna, that's incredibly generous. Holy crap, tuna. So much love. Thank you, tuna. You all that stuff. You don't have to do givey stuff. We're here to just have some fun, and I'm going to reveal that I have lied to you all for the whole time. Because I have told you all that there wouldn't be a test. But tonight is the test. So, here's what I've done. I have gone through each episode that we have done so far, and I have pulled one question from each of those episodes. And we are going to go through 99 questions tonight that span everything that we have covered so far. And I have...
I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus!
You just want a hype train. We don't have to have a hype train. That's okay. We do not need a hype train. I appreciate it, but we do not need one. Also, hey, Cave, what's up? And there's the hype train. Thank you all. And Nix is like, well, you're gonna get it. Thank you all very much. I, as always, appreciate this quite a bit. So, this is going to take a while. And we're going to sort of launch into it because we've got a while to go and it's going to be a little while to get there. So, here's the way that's going to go. All of these are multiple choice questions. One question from each of the previous 99 streams, and then a special question to wrap it up for tonight. We're not going to keep score. If you want to keep score on your own, you go for it. But they're all multiple choice. They're pretty interesting things. I tried to find things that are funny or goofy or important, and here we go. So let's start. We started all the way back at the beginning with stream number 1. And I'll read the question out and I'll read the answers out. You are free to shout out your answers or your guesses in the chat if you want to. And then I'll pause maybe a couple of seconds and then we'll give the right answer and maybe do a bit of conversation about each of these. But teach the dog ate my memory. I am choosing C for all of the answers. Okay, so what term do archaeologists use to determine the age of an artifact in relation to the level of the site that it was found? This is radiometric dating, stratigraphy, comparative dating, or variance. So you can answer what you want. Hey, Galanuva, good to see you. Also, hey, Vipers. Hey, Tuna and Cave and Late Bloomer, good to see you all. Hey, Fid, thanks for those super great emotes. Nix is here. Metrand is here. All of the friends are here. By the way, C is not the correct answer. Yes, the correct answer is B, stratigraphy. This is referring to that old Latin word strata, meaning level. And as you dig down into an archaeological site, you go back in time, and if you find something in a particular level, that is a way that you can date that particular item. Date here, by the way, not meaning like take it out, but chronologically date it, right? Okay, here we go. What terms does archaeologists use to describe an artificial hill made by continuous human habitation at a site? So humans have lived here for a long time. They brought crap to this area, and over time it has made a hill. What is the name of that hill? Someday the Anthropocene will be a few centimeters of dust in the ground, and it's probably radioactive dust, right? So the correct answer here is actually C. It is a tell. A mound is anything. A hammam is actually a specific tell. A tell is the fake thing that they use to describe, well, it's a word to describe this false hill that is made by human stuff. A is made on purpose. Correct. A mound is just, I'm going to make a big pile of this. Fake news. fake news. This week I have been called both a left-wing radical and a right-wing nutjob and a radical centrist. I've never been called a radical centrist before. That was a first. So there we go. A phallic artificial hill is a William Tell. I think it would be better if you said Richard Tell, because then it could be shortened to Dick Tell. So there we go. What is a good guess for our most proximate hominin ancestor? So ancestor here, not cousin. Ancestor, not cousin. Radical centrist sounds like an oxymoron to me, right? I got an emote. Choo-choo! The correct answer here is A, Homo heidelbergensis. The others are not ancestors of us. They are cousins of us. Heidelbergensis is probably the closest thing that was before us, and Heidelbergensis is almost certainly also the original species whose population developed into Neanderthals and Denisova. And we don't know very much at all about Floresiensis, but we know that they were probably either Homo erectus descendants, Homo erectus descendants, or maybe some weird Homo sapien descendants. But the time are weird. The last three are written incorrectly. How so? Fix me up. Are we attributing them to a different group than Homo? Because we can total genus species. So are we saying that? Oh, okay. I'm capitalizing stuff, so it should be like this, and this, and this. There we go. There we go. Cool, cool, cool. Shane's species is Homo erectus. Thank you all. I just have a habit of capitalizing everything. Something ruined by capitalism. Great. Okay, here we go. Which region is not considered an important hub of migration? India, China, the Fertile Crescent, or Europe? Tuna's just going to go with C, and he wasn't joking. Taco Bell. What up, Moose? Good to see you. You've only been right once. There will be others who are answered C. This one is not answered C. This one is actually answered D. Europe is not a hub of migration. India, China, and the Fertile Crescent are all hubs of migration. Don't choose C, right? India and China are probably the bigger of the three. The Fertile Crescent is sort of like the first one out of... so like you leave Africa, and then Europe is salty about this. That's kind of why I threw Europe in there, just to kind of poke at that. The Europeans are pretty clearly Eurocentric. I disagree. My ancestors came from Europe and only I matter. The Native Americans would argue with me there. See, but the Native American populations came from China. The group of people that eventually made their way over to North America came from China to begin with, originally. Now, they weren't what we would call modern-day Chinese people, but that area of China is where a lot of waves of migration left. Sure, but they were killed by migrating Europeans. Oh, well, there we go. Yeah. All right, here we go. What is the name of the first identifiable city? I'm Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus.
Didn't the Norse also settle on the east coast of the U.S. and mix with those of Asian descent? There were populations of Viking settlers that did indeed settle in what is modern day Canada. Also, hey, Ann, what's up? How's it going? The answer is Spartacus. The answer is A. All of these were cities in the Bronze Age. Uruk is the first one that we specifically consider to be an actual city, meaning that it had a stable year-round population, it had identifiable layout, and it had designated zones of activity, meaning this is like the habitation zone, this is the religious zone, this is the, like buying and selling zone. Uruk is where the orcs came from. That's Uruk High. But sure. What's up, Kyle? Glad to see you, rather. High school jerseys were found from Uruk High. Yeah, there we go. Ur, of course, is a very big, important city in Sumeria. Babylon, another one there. Jericho is in the Levant region and was an early village, but not a city. Here we go. What is the name of the king that made the first known written legal code? First known written legal code. And I am doing amazing. We are having a 100 episode celebration, and all of these questions come from older episodes that we have done. So this question number 6, which is over here, I keep pointing the wrong direction, came from episode 6, way back 2 years ago when we first started doing this. Have been up since really early this morning and been busy all day, so you won't be very active in chat, but you're glad you found this channel, and to be here for the 100th, we'll be lurking as long as you manage. Metrand, cheers, my friend. Much appreciated. I'm glad you found us too. It's always fun to have somebody else in the chat that can throw those super great things in there. You're already failing, but you bribed the professor. You're going to move around and try to answer these questions from the bathroom. Okay, so Hammurabi, Ashurbanipal, Urukagina, or Zigur? The answer here is Urukagina. And Hammurabi was on there to distract everybody because everybody credits Hammurabi as having the first legal code, but Urukagina wrote one hundreds of years before Hammurabi actually came to the throne. So that was not a trick question, but it was definitely there to throw you off that direction. Mostly because you came in right now. Which of these kings of the 18th dynasty in Egypt tried to push a semi-monotheistic religious system? Tutankhamun, Amenhotep III, Tutmos III, or Akhenaten? The answer is E, the U.S. Constitution. What up, David? How's it going? All right, so the correct answer is D, Akhenaten. Moon Knight. Akhenaten, who was originally named Amenhotep, but moved out to the desert and built himself a new capital city and started worshiping the solar disk, whose name was Aten, and changed his name to Akhenaten, and then messed a bunch of stuff up. You got to go run and buy a lotto ticket real quick. You're on a lucky streak. All right, here we go. Question numero 8. By the way, Moon Knight finished this week. I can binge it now. Okay. Here we go. What is the name of the earliest civilization in India? Not culture, civilization, meaning we have cities, we have organized trade networks, we have centralized governance and stuff like that. You had this on and no sound came up till now. Oh, that's interesting. What's up, Sci-Fi? Good to see you. The answer is B, Harappa. Harappans were first, then Dravidians, then Aryan invasion. Sanskrit is not even a group of people, it is a language, or specifically here, it is an alphabet. So, Moon Knight isn't actually a good candidate for binging. Best to sit with each episode for a while. Maybe one every night then. I pulled up to the window early since you figured to get distracted by hockey. 303, I should quit while you're ahead. Harappa the Rappa. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right, here we go. Number 9. Which of these is not a core belief that most Hindu religions consider important? We have A, Shudras, B, Dharma, C, Samsara, D, Moksha. You thought it was going to be like Sid Meier's Civilization 1. E, Samosa, E, Masala. C, isn't that food? A samosa is food. The Dharma Initiative is from Lost. What up, KP? The correct answer here is A. Shudras are a caste. They are part of the Hindu caste system. Dharma is the concept of the right way to live. Samsara is the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. And moksha is the moment that you escape from rebirth and life and death and become one with whatever version of the universe you believe in. There are lots of different Hindu traditions, by the way. Samsara is a great documentary. I have not seen that. Clearly none of us listened on that episode. Well, I mean, it was a long time ago. Here we go. Number 10, what is the name of the first completely provable dynasty in China? And that wording is important. Completely provable dynasty in China. And now that I know the meaning of the title, it's very fitting. Ah, well, there we go. David's just going to keep answering E. Dynasty Warriors for the PlayStation? Yeah, there we go. General So. Oh, man. So we have Xia, Shang, Zhou, or Han. What's up, Jamar? Good to see you. The correct answer is B, the Shang dynasty. Now, technically, some people claim the Xia dynasty was first, and if you read the Chinese texts, they will say that the Xia dynasty is first. However, we are not completely able to archaeologically prove that most of the Xia stories actually took place. Yeah, like Yu the Great, Yu the engineer probably did not exist. One of the sort of sage kings or mythical kings of early ancient China. You barely remember what you did yesterday, but you won't remember these. That's okay. It's really just for goofs and for fun. Samsara doc related, have you ever heard of the documentary Baraka? I know that Baraka is a character on Mortal Kombat, but that's as far as I know. I know nothing! If you haven't, I should definitely watch Baraka. I will put it on the list. I've also been told that I need to watch the Mr. Rogers movie with Tom Hanks today. Not that I need to watch it today, but I've been told today that I need to watch it. All right, moving on to number 11. Which non-Babylonian group took over Babylon, claimed Babylonian heritage, and did a great deal to preserve Babylonian documents? We have Assyrians, Hittites, Sumerians, or Kassites. Who was that guy who went to York University, ran for president in a Caribbean country, and assassinated? I I don't know. Maybe Marcus Garvey? But I can't remember. Not the one with the spell checker underlined. It actually is the one that the spell checker underlined. It is the Kassites. So the Assyrians and the Hittites and the Sumerians are all other people groups that were around during the Bronze Age. But the Kassites came in and took over Babylon, and they... Oh yeah, Kassites, they're totally a word. The reason that we have a lot of the Babylonian documents that we have today are because the Kassites were trying to prove how Babylonian they were by copying all of these Babylonian texts over. Dead serious, that's where it comes from. All right, here we go. What is the capital of the Hittite Empire? We have A, Shupalululiuma, B, Hattusa, C, Kizuwatna, or D, Kanesh. All over the board here. Watusi. So the correct answer here is B, Hattusa. Wakanda forever, right? Hattusa is the capital of the Hittites. Shupalululiuma was the name of one of their big, powerful kings. Kizuwatna was a regional power that fought with the Hittites quite a bit in central Anatolia. Kanesh is a city that was an Assyrian colony in far eastern Turkey. You've never heard these words before. I feel bad. It's okay. This is ancient history stuff that most people will have a lot of exposure to. But if you are interested, I've talked about all of this stuff in depth on stream before. You can go back and watch almost all of the VODs. I think I've missed maybe 4 or 5 VODs since the beginning. Nix didn't come to class for the last 80 episodes. The last 2 you would have gotten if you followed your gut. Yeah. No, this will not include Middle Earth streams or viewer requests. This is just Adventures in History. We're spoiled. How are we spoiled? False advertising? Oh, no. It says history. All right, so here we go. The Minoan civilization was mostly located on which Mediterranean island? We have Crete, Cyprus, Sardinia, or Sicily. I'm going through my tea too quickly. I need to put it down. The correct answer is A, Crete. That's where the capital of Knossos was. Yes, Minotaurs are from there, indeed. How many of you are Cretans? So Cyprus had civilizations on it, specifically a group called Anawiya. Sardinia and Sicily were lightly populated at that point. Probably didn't have anything more than a couple of Phoenician colonies on them. You come to me asking for a favor on the day of my 100th episode. Are we supposed to keep track of your scores? No. This is purely for fun, sci-fi. Purely for fun. All right, here we go. Which of these empires was not in the Club of Great Powers during the late Bronze Age? Is it A, Mitanni, B, Hatti, C, Mycenae, or D, Egypt? Tuna's just going to stick with C. Mitsubishi. We'll get a question about a Mazda later. It's not the kind of car that you're thinking about, though. All right, so the correct answer here is Mycenae. They were not one of the big empires at the time. Mitanni was a big empire. Hatti was a big empire. Egypt was a big empire. The other two were the Assyrians, and then the Babylonians were kind of like a junior group. You've never heard of this club. We had a long discussion about the collapse of the Bronze Age, and it was pretty cool stuff. Too many fans of the Mr. Sunday Movies YouTube channel. We're at 100%. I don't know that. All right. Who was the first emperor of the Zhou dynasty? We have Shi, Wei, Dishin, or Wu. Who was the first emperor of the Zhou dynasty? Zhou Pesci? Perhaps. Or Zhou, right? First rule of Bronze Age Club is we don't talk about Bronze Age Club. Zhou Mama? The correct answer is Wu. Emperor Wu. Emperor Wu was the first emperor of the Zhou dynasty. All the way back in the long, long time ago era. All right. Question number 16. How many noble truths do most Buddhists hold to? Is it 8, 6, 4, or 9? How many noble truths? The original Joe Dirt. Definitely not C. It actually is C. The answer is C, the Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truths. Life is suffering. That's number 1. Suffering causes pain. That's number 2. There is a way to escape feeling pain. This does not advocate suicide, by the way. And then you have the Eightfold Path, which corresponds to number 4. Yes, the 8-sided wheel. Correct. You know this because of Becca. Indeed. So there are 4 noble truths, 8 good things to keep in mind, like right mindfulness, and right speech, and right mentalness, right capacity, all these good things to do. All right, number 17. Which seafaring group was influential in pulling the ancient world out of the Dark Ages and into the Iron Age? You have a kitty, no painful existence here. Is it the Sea Peoples, the Phoenicians, the Neo-Hittites, or the Phrygians? So pulling people out of the Dark Age and into the Iron Age. The Snorks? Swim along with the Snorks. I watched that show. Ethel Merman? Mermen. Let's see what you did there. The correct answer is the Phoenicians. The Sea Peoples were the ones that wrecked the end of the Bronze Age and turned everybody into the Dark Ages. The Phoenicians were the people that started to do the trade again. And in fact, we call our description of how to pronounce our words today phonics, because we use the Greek alphabet, and the Greeks stole their alphabet from the Phoenicians. Neo-Hittites were around at this time, but not necessarily seafaring people, and the Phrygians were purely in Asia Minor. Potato knows stuff. Not A, they created the Dark Age. Correct indeed. Which of these is not an important document to Judaism? We have A, Tefillin, B, Medrash, C, Talmud, or D, Torah? Tuna's just sticking with the C. The New Testament. The correct answer is A, Tefillin. Tefillin is actually a little box that you might see that some very conservative Jewish people have tied to their forehead or to the back of their hands. Yeah, it's a phylactery. It has a little verse typically written in it, but it itself is not a document. I understand this reference. I'm going to assume someone who answered A was Jewish. Tefillin was invented by NASA. I think you mean Teflon? Teflon. It has your soul in it, and you can't be destroyed until it is. I think that's D&D second edition for a lich, but I'm not sure their cave. All right, here we go. Number 19. Which of these kings ruled Assyria at its territorial height? So when it controlled the most territory. We have Shalmaneser III, Tiglath-Pileser III, Sargon II, or Esarhaddon. Obviously, C. Tigger 2. The correct answer here is D. Esarhaddon, who was the first Assyrian king who was able to conquer Egypt. It's a big old chunk of territory. So we ruled all of Mesopotamia, the Levant, part of Asia Minor, Syria, and then Egypt. I say we vote on who the correct answer is. This is not fair. This is Lord of the Rings question. Obviously, places in Middle Earth. These are all people, right? All right, here we go. Question number 20. Which of these was not a large and powerful city-state in early classical Greece? Esarhaddon sounds like a Victorian author. I'd take that. I'd take that. We have Dodona, Thebes, Corinth, or Athens. New York City. Yeah, New York City is not in early classical Greece. That is correct. You feel like this is going to be a trick question. Worst perverted law teacher ever, Mr. Sargon in Canada. I'm not familiar with who Mr. Sargon is. Orinth. I heard A, the donut. Dodona. I Dodona know. It is actually Dodona. Now, Dodona was an important city, but it was not a large and powerful city-state. Let's play antidepressant commercial name or Lord of the Rings character name. That's crazy. All right. Number 21. When the Pharaoh Apries reprimanded his general Amasis, what was Amasis's reply? A. Literally killing the messenger. B. Seducing Apries' wife. C. Declaring allegiance with Syria. Or D. Fart in the messenger's hand and tell him to take that to Apries. New phone, who dis? Praying it's D. The correct answer is actually D. A messenger came to Amasis and has a scroll and said, the Pharaoh commands you to return, and gives him this letter. And Amasis reads the letter, and he tells the messenger to stretch out his hand, and then Amasis farted in the guy's hand and said, you take that back to the Pharaoh. It had to be D. That is way too specific. I don't know. Maybe I was just really good at making up weird things. Maybe I'm just really good at making up weird ideas. Moving along. I felt like he meant to poop. All right, here we go. Which of these was not an important Greek religious site during the classical period? We have A, Chalcis, B, Olympia, C, Delphi, or D, Dodona. All right, Galanuva. Hope you have a good one. Thanks for dropping by. So we're looking for not a religious site. B is in the USA. Yeah, it's the capital of Washington, right? New York City. The correct answer is A, Chalcis. Chalcis was a colony on one of the islands in the Aegean. All three of these are big religious sites. Olympia, where we get the Olympics. Delphi, of course, the Oracle at Delphi. Dodona is one of the oldest ancient religious sites in all of Greece. Moving along. What was strategically decisive in the battle between Cyrus of Persia and Croesus of Lydia? Is it A, a flanking attack with light cavalry, B, the stench of Persian camels, C, capture of a bridge, or D, the murder of Croesus by his guard? I should have specified Olympia, Greece, and not Olympia, Washington, by the way. Okay, I apologize. Please, God, BP. The correct answer is B, the stench of Persian camels, which was described as so great that the enemies could not withstand the charge of the stinky Persian camels. This is all in the ancient history sources, by the way. You can read all of this stuff. This is not how Age of Empires went, right? I don't have special move. All right, here we go. Which of these is the good god of Zoroastrianism? Is it A, Yazatas, B, Angra Mainyu, C, Ahura Mazda, or D, Ahriman? Angra Mainyu is of what? The correct answer here is C, Ahura Mazda. Yazatas are like lesser spirits that are kind of maybe angels if you want to make an equivalent, but they're not exactly angels. Angra Mainyu and Ahriman are actually the same. They're the bad god. They're just two different names for the bad god. The Mazda 3, Mazda 626. That god turned into a car later in life? Correct. All right. Which of these is not a Tirthankar of Jainism? We have A, Rishbanath, B, Mahavira, C, Jiva, or D, Parshvanath. Zoom, zoom. These are not words. Of who, what now? Okay, Jesus, not this. So, in Jainism, there are semi-messianic figures that are called Tirthankars, and they are literally described as bridge builders. These people that bridge the gap between celestial and religious knowledge and the individual person. And there are subsequent sort of reincarnations of Tirthankars throughout the ages. I feel like Shane could put literal gibberish on these and you would believe it. The correct answer here is C, Jiva. Jiva is the Jainist concept of a soul, and it's not exactly the same as a soul in Western religions, but it is a individualized personal spirit. So there are religious differences, but if you want to know more, go check out our stream on Jainism. We are a quarter of the way through. Quarter of the way through. How's everybody doing so far? What are we looking at score-wise? I am perfect. Well, there we go. That's close enough for me. Okay, here we go. Who was the first true emperor of China? Qi Qin, Qin Shi Huang, Zhao Qin, Qin Yu Zhou. Jaina's soul doesn't exist. Ooh, ooh. Java is probably nicer because boys like to nickname themselves Jin. Mao, ooh. 3-1 Panthers is the score I got. I can't say that I'm too angry about that. The correct answer here is B, Qin Shi Huang. General So. No, not General So. Qin Shi Huang founded the Qin dynasty The Dragon Emperor, if you saw that really horrible movie, is Qin Shi Huang. If you know the guy with all of the terracotta soldiers in his tomb, that's also like Qin Shi Huang. That's also Qin Shi Huang. So that guy. Which of these was not a part of the 100 schools of philosophy? This is, of course, during the Zhou Dynasty, a period of time where there was an explosion of philosophical knowledge. We have A, legalism, B, naturalism, C, egalitarianism, or D, Moism. General So is famous for his defeat of the Poultry Rebellion. The correct answer here is one that a lot of people have picked. It is indeed C, egalitarianism. That was not one of the 100 schools of philosophy. Moism was actually one of the larger schools and is now completely lost thanks to Qin Shi Huang, who decided that it was not good to have all of these different ideas, and he wiped a lot of them out, and then he promoted legalism. Blind squirrel and whatnot. Sure, there we go. Mohism, more problems, right? Oops, sorry. All right, here we go. 28. Which of these was not a Greek military leader in their wars against Persia? A, Leonidas. B, Megabyzes. C, Themistocles. D, Cimon. I don't know if I could say testicles, I guess, on stream. The correct answer is B, Megabyzes, who was actually one of the Persian generals. So he was there, but he was on the other side of the battles. Leonidas, of course, this is Sparta. Themistocles was a Athenian naval captain / politician, and Cimon was probably the guy that won the war for them at the end, because he's basically a brilliant military strategist and got the wrong end of the stick at the very, very end of the thing, but he was pretty important. Never trust Megabyte, right? A is from 300, correct. All right, which of these city-states won the Peloponnesian War? Is it A, Corinth, B, this is Sparta, C, Thebes, or D, Athens? C is from 300, Rise of an Empire. Correct. I still haven't seen all of that movie. I really didn't like it, and I turned it off. Sea of Thebes. I see what you did there. So your only weakness is your heel. Yes, what about your testicles? Is it the Sam eats similar? I've missed it. It's not like it's really that much worse than Vanilla 300. Okay, well, we can quibble. Anyway, the answer here is Sparta. The Spartans won the Peloponnesian War and almost immediately lost all of their power to Thebes. Corinth was allied with Sparta, but they got squished pretty bad. Athens, of course, lost. There we go. That was a Family Guy bit. See, there we go. I do not watch Family Guy, and have not for a very long time. All right, here we go. Number 30. Which tactic did the plebeians in early Rome frequently use to gain access to more political and religious equality? Is it A, gigantic riots, B, targeted assassination of patricians, C, going out and sitting on a hill, or D, attending religious events naked? Giant riots. Google searches patrician. What a weekend, right? The correct answer here is C. They would walk out of the city and just go across to a hill that overlooked Rome, and they would just sit there. They basically went on strike. and the entire city would just grind to a halt because the plebeians were the functional workers of the city. And if it was time to give them some more benefits, they were going to get it. And if they didn't get them, they were like, all right, guys, let's go sit on the hill. And they did this multiple times to great effect. Is plebe an insult? It's meant to be insulting. It's meant to be like lower class or working class. If you're not insulted by it, you don't have to be insulted by it. All right. Question. Which of these was founded by Alexander the Great? Is it A, Alexandria, B, Alexandria, C, Alexandria, or D, Bucephala? E, also Alexandria. All of the above, even if Shane disagrees. Well, Moose, you actually kind of foreshadowed this one when you were saying that I should have said Olympia, Washington, because all of these here I'm referring to like Alexandria in Tennessee and Alexandria in Mississippi and Alexandria in California, and the correct answer is actually Bucephala, which is a city he named after his horse. The larger joke here, of course, is Alexander the Great founded crap tons of cities that he named after himself, and then a city that he named after his horse. Use it in a sentence. My dishwasher is on back order, so I washed the dishes by hand like a plebe. There we go. There we go. His horse's name was Bucephalus, by the way. All right. 32. Which of these things did not happen to Alexander the Great's wife and child? A. Dealing with overbearing in-laws. B. House arrest. C. Murdered by Alexander's supporters. Or D. Public beatings. And his followers named more after him after he died. Correct. Bucephalus sounds like an STD. Are you or someone that you know suffering from Bucephala? Is A more subjective than objective? I'll go ahead and tell you that, well, no, it's objective. The answer here is actually D, public beatings. So Alexander's mother was horrible to them. Horrible to them. Treated them like hot garbage. Tried to get them killed. Was one of the individuals that managed to get them put under house arrest in the first place. And then one of the kids of one of Alexander's generals decided that he was just done with them, and he killed both of them. So they were never publicly beaten, but all of that other stuff, that's more than a bit overbearing. Well, dealing with it, you know, it's a hard thing to deal with. But there we go. All right, here we go, number 33. Which region was not a bone of contention between the early Ptolemies and the early Seleucids? A, Macedonia. B, coastal Turkey. C, Syria. Or D, the Levant. Supporters is more posse. Well, I mean, these are people that fought with Alexander. Got a couple of guesses here. The correct answer is A, Macedonia. Macedonia was under the control of one of the other of the Diadochi. It was in a kingdom by itself. These other regions were sort of between the Seleucid Empire and the Ptolemies, and they wanted all of those. Never heard of it, so it doesn't exist. Close enough. Question 34. What did Seleucus Nicator trade to Chandragupta Maurya in exchange for 500 war elephants? A, the province of Oxus. B, border forts in the Khyber Pass, C, 100 tons of gold, or D, his daughter? What's it worth for 500 war elephants? Is this in real life or is this in Civ 5? This is in real life. 100 tons of gold. The correct answer is his daughter. Seleucus tried to invade the Gupta homeland, and the Maurya homeland, and Chandragupta Maurya beat the poop out of him, and it was like, okay, we need to make a trade. We need to make a trade treaty and a deal here. And could you give me some of those really cool war elephants? And Chandragupta Maurya was like, let me marry your daughter. And Seleucus was like, done. You're worth way more than 500 war elephants. 505 at least, right? The female person that launched 500 war elephants. Yeah. And he used them to great effect and beat the crap out of a bunch of other people over in Turkey with them. Like, who even knew what was going on over there? All right. Number 35. What tactic did Scipio use to defeat Hannibal Barca at the Battle of Zama? Did he dig ditches to disrupt chariots? Did he move out of the way of elephants? Did he fake retreat into a valley, thereby narrowing his opponent's front line? Or did he command his army to switch from swords to spears? 500 war elephants was like an aircraft carrier and a few nukes. Yeah, it really was. Elephants again. Yeah, this was the elephant phase. I don't know if you all remember, but we went through a phase where elephants were like the thing for a long time. Anti-elephant artillery. You've only know the answer to 4 of these. That's okay for cryonics. I don't think that you were hanging out with us in the early episodes, but again, most of these are ones that you can go back and watch on the VODs if you want. And also, this is not common knowledge. This is mostly just us having fun, right? So don't feel bad about any of this. The correct answer is moving out of the way of the elephants. So Scipio's great tactics was, hey, look, here's the deal. When the elephants run at us, just move. And people were like, what? He's like, yeah, just don't let them crush you. Just move out of the way. And they're like, it can't be that easy. He's like, yeah, it is that easy. It is that easy. Right? Just move out of the way. It's just a jump to the left, right? I've been sure of 0. Elephants have a great turning radius, right? All right, here we go. Number 36. Which of these ancient cultures never traded with China? Is it A, Numidians, B, Greco-Bactrians, C, Parthians, or D, Xiongnu? Brilliant, right? Only got a couple of guesses here, but that's okay. This is weird stuff, right? We don't talk about this very much. D, because it smells like a trick question. The correct answer is A, the Numidians. The Numidians were a northern African culture that were situated roughly around where modern-day Morocco and Algeria are located. So they were to the west of the Carthaginians, and they never traded with China because they were just too far away. Everybody else was in the region and did end up trading with China eventually. All right, 37. Which of these is not an important Confucianist writing? Is it A, the Book of Poems, B, the Analects, C, the Book of Rites, or D, the Spring and Autumn Annals? What's it gonna be? The Necronomicon? The correct answer here is A, the Book of Poems. Now, there is a Book of Songs that's an important Confucianist writing, but not the Book of Poems. All of those other ones are books that are written by Confucius or by people that were very close to Confucius while he was alive. Winnie the Pooh. Who was the first emperor of the Han Dynasty? Was it A, Qin Shi Huang, B, Wu Ti, C, Wang Jingjun, or D, Gao Tzu? Who was it that founded that old Han Dynasty? Winnie Il Pooh. Han Solo. These are great. B, you might also refer to him as Han Wu Di. Yeah, that's another way that he shows up. So the correct answer here is actually D, which is Gao Tzu. Now, Wang Jingjun was a ruling empress. She was the first ruling woman of the Han Dynasty. And Wu Di was the most powerful of the Western Han Dynasty. Qin Shi Huang, of course, is from the Qin Dynasty, and he was just a filler. All right. Which of these religions was not present in significant numbers in the Greco-Bactrian kingdoms? Is it A, Zoroastrianism, B, Judaism, C, Hinduism, or D, Buddhism? How much do we remember about those Central Asian kingdoms? Scientology. E for sure. Oh, it's always E, right? If you just guess E. Now, the correct answer is B, Judaism. Judaism was not very frequent in the Greco-Bactrians group. The Bactrians were an interesting group, absolutely. They were a big mix of cultures. There were some Jewish people there, but not a large number. Here we go. Which of these was not a sizable culture after the fall of the Maurya in India? Is it A, Tamils, B, Satavahana, C, Kalinga, or D, Ashvamedha? I thought you said Middle Earth isn't included. Right? Kalima! Indy, cover your heart! Right? Chicken masala. I almost got Indian food last night, and I talked myself out of it because it takes them too long to make it, and it's all the way across town, and I was hungry right then. The correct answer is D, Ashvamedha. Ashvamedha is actually a horse sacrifice, and if you've been around when we've been talking about India before, you'll remember that there's a sacrifice where you let a horse go in your kingdom, and the horse roams around all year, and if nobody kills it, that shows how powerful of a king you are, and then you kill the horse because it's your horse, and you can kill it if you want to. They just can't kill it because nobody else is the king, right? Why the galley was serving that on Cinco de Mayo, you'll never know. I don't know. Maybe they're not trying to do cultural appropriation for something. Yeah, my horse. You don't kill my horse. I kill my horse. All right, here we go. This is a fun one. In what unfortunate way did Seleucid Emperor Diodotus Tryphon die? A, fell off of his horse and got trampled. B, got choked on his own dinner. C, got washed away in a tidal wave. D, tripped over his dog and fell down the stairs. This quiz is basically which of these silly words fits my specific definition. Death is fun for you. You're going to call, yeah, D is funnier. The correct answer here is actually C. He did get washed away in a tidal wave. He was marching his army down a beach, and a giant wave came up on the shore and washed him out into the sea. Drinking game. Drink one for every correct answer. You are free to participate in adult consenting activity in whatever way you want to. So he's Bodhi. Yeah, maybe. All right, number 42. What taunt did Parthian Emperor Orodes throw at the Roman general Crassus? A. That hair would grow from his hand before Rome took his capital. B. That Crassus had small manhood. C. That Orodes could have Crassus's wife. Or D. That none of Crassus's children were actually his because his wife was running around on him. C is a sick burn. B, that he had small manhood. The correct answer is A. Crassus was marching up with an army and spoke to Orodes and said, I am coming to take your capital. And Orodes held out his hand and said, hair will grow from here before you can take my capital. Lame. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries. All right, number 43. Which of these was not a reason that patricians killed Tiberius and Gaius Gracchus? A. Advocating for fair food prices. B. Advocating for equal land distribution. C. Advocating for military reforms. Or D. Advocating for a plebeian strike. No, they were killed for 3 of these reasons. They were not killed for 1 of these reasons. Q. Let's be careful with the use of Q here. The correct answer is D. They were not trying to convince the plebeians to strike, but they were advocating for fair prices for food, equal distribution of the land, and reforming the military so that people did not have to stay in the military as long. Specifically here, plebeians in the military. Alrighty. Number 44. How did the Hasmonean king Antigonus ensure that his uncle Hyrcanus II could not be king anymore? A. He had him exiled. B. He turned him over to Rome as a traitor. C. He bit off Hyrcanus's ear. Or D. He had him murdered on the steps of the temple. People seem to know this one, and the answer is yes, C. He gave his uncle a hug, and while he was giving his uncle a hug, he ripped his ear off with his teeth. And therefore, Hyrcanus was malformed and therefore unfit to be king. You just vote for the answer that you want it to be. Sure, that works. All right. Number 45. Which of these did the Pontic king Mithridates VI not do to keep the throne? So he did all of these except for 1. A. Lied to Rome. B. Killed 2/3 of the nobility. C. Starved his mother and brother to death in prison. Or D. Married his sister. Literally had to write a 3-page essay on this period during qualifying exams. So if he's trying to keep the throne, how does he keep the throne? He did all of these except for 1 thing. You made out with your sister. Eurotrip. Classic. The correct answer here is B. He did not kill 2/3 of the nobility. He totally lied to Rome. He starved his mother and brother to death in prison, and then he married his sister. You're going to go with A because it seems so tame compared with all the psycho stuff. What's up, Batbird? Good to see you. I feel like C and D are small change to Old Kings. Yeah, it's good. Whatever. All right. Here we go. Here's Spartacus. In what war did Spartacus lead his army of rebelled slaves? Is it A, the First Servile War, the Second Servile War, the Third Servile War, or the Fourth Servile War? Which one is it? First, second, third, or fourth? The Fifth Servile War, right? These are the days of our lives. Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. I have seen so many episodes of that because my grandmother watched it religiously. Not a lot of guessing on this one, so the answer is C, the Third Servile War. There you go, Tuna. All right, one of my favorite questions of the entire set. Here we go. Which of these does not describe Ptolemy the Eighth Physicon's familiar relationship with himself? Which of these is not accurate? Was he his own brother-in-law? Was he his own nephew? Was he his own uncle? Or was he his own grandfather? 3 of these are accurate. One of them is not accurate. Which one is it? Oh, I know which one it is. The correct answer is D. He is not his own grandfather. He was his own brother-in-law because he married his sister. He was his own nephew because he then married his sister's kid, his sister's niece. He was his own uncle because he then married another one of his nieces, but he was not his own grandfather. You don't think D is possible? Yes, he could have married one of his wife's daughters. Oh no, I actually screwed this up. He was his own granddad. Because he married his sister's daughter. No, that doesn't work. No, that doesn't work. He would have had, his father would have had to marry his daughter for him to be his own grandfather. So these 3 are accurate. He was not his own grandfather. This is too complicated. Yeah, welcome to the Ptolemies. Welcome to the Ptolemies. But he would have had to sire his father. He would have had to be the father of his mother's father or mother. It works. There's a way to do this. Anyway, here we go. 48. Which of these titles got Julius Caesar into the most trouble? Was it general, dictator, consul, or triumvir? Daddy. What's up, Shwana? Good to see you. The correct answer is B, dictator. That's the one that got him into real big trouble. Specifically here, dictator for life. And that was a bad one. Got lots of people ticked off. Boo. What gamble paid off the most for Augustus? Was it A, committing huge naval forces to the Battle of Actium? Was it exiling his co-triumvir Lepidus? Was it marrying into Pompey's family? Or was it breaking into the Temple of Vesta? One of these, all of these were gambles, but which one paid off the biggest? Oh, Vipers. Betting that Lost was all just a dream. That's Dynasty, or Dallas. Was it Dallas? I think it was Dallas. The correct answer here is D, breaking into the Temple of Vesta. He did that so that he could steal Antony's will. And in Antony's will, he found that Antony had promised to give away Roman territory to non-Romans. And this was the thing that made the Roman world turn against Antony and Cleopatra and led to Augustus taking over as emperor. So there we go. Are you talking about the hockey game? Or are you talking about this game? You're going to the Penguins Rangers. Penguins got real lucky on that other game. The Rangers should have totally won that game the other night. All right. Question number 50. Halfway done. Which of these does not describe the historical accounts of Hyakkusa, the first king of Shilla, Korea? Is it A, born from an egg, C, could breathe fire, B, could breathe fire, C, protected by a unicorn, or D, married a woman made from a dragon's rib? Come and see me. Come up here. Come up. Or you're stretching still. Come on. Come and see me. Come and see the puppy. Oh, yes. Look, it's the puppy. And we have new puppy head pat emotes. Oh, yes. Nixlotl was an amazing individual and made us a puppy head pat emote. Yeah. Yeah, because Nick said that we need more puppy head pats on stream. It's a good girl. That's a good puppy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It even looks like you. Did you see it? Rotten thing. The answer here is B. He could not breathe fire. He was born from an egg. He was protected by a unicorn, and he did marry a woman that was made out of a dragon's rib, but he couldn't breathe fire. So, alas, you know, you can't win them all, right? Okay, here we go. Which of these is currently the confirmed oldest evidence of humans in the Americas? Are they the remains from Monteverde in Chile? Are they the remains from Clovis? Are they remains from El Abra? Or are they remains from Phillips Springs? Which one of these are the oldest confirmed evidence of humans in America? It would have been cool to breathe fire, right? But I mean, if you're going to be born from an egg and have a unicorn protector, you know, Cleveland. The correct answer is, and Fernal got it, A, Monteverde. It is a habitation site that has been carbon dated to 12,800 years BC. That's really, really far back there. Clovis was considered for a long time to be the oldest cultural site in America. This, of course, is in New Mexico. But Monteverde is now the oldest one. El Abra and Phillips Springs are both old as well, but not close to either of those. El Abra dates to about 10,000 BC. Phillips Springs dates to about 4,000. Clovis is about 11,000. Fun fact, you live in the city with the oldest population. Mitch McConnell. Ooh, hot bar. Monteverde is in Chile, South American country of Chile. Which of these is a potential translation of Olmec? Is it A, the Jaguar people, B, the Firebird people, C, the Rubber people, or D, the Big Head people? Which is it? Lots of people saying A. Got a C, a couple of C. What up, Snowlock? Yeah, we're at 100 episodes, Snowlock, and I lied and said that there wouldn't be a test, but there is totally a test. We're just playing a game. We're just having fun because it's 100 episodes. We're doing something a little bit different. Come on in, make a guess. The answer to this one is C, the rubber people. As weird as it sounds, that's what we have a good guess for the Olmec being translated to. Specifically here, like rubber ball, like the one that they used to play their ball game with. Look at you, Schmawnite. Check it out. This wasn't on the pretest. The pretest was stream number 52. So if you look at the numbers out here, these numbers actually are corresponding with streams that we've done. So I looked through all of the streams that we've done previously, all 99 of them, and I got one question from each stream. This wasn't on the syllabus. Olmec. There you go. The red jaguars, the blue barracudas, the green monkeys. What was the religious focus of China during the Eastern Han Empire? Was it legalism, Buddhism, Confucianism, or Taoism? Typical professor, always lies about the quiz, right? What's OMG to? Olmec is the same actor as the clones in Clone Wars. Oh, well. Yes, Legends of the Hidden Temple. Yeah, the correct answer here is a C, Confucianism. Confucianism was the central religious ideology of the Han Empire, and they really started focusing it really, really heavily during the Eastern Han period. Now, these were other things that were around at that point, but this particular one was the big deal. Okie dokie. Here we go. Which of these people groups were not influential in Central Asian politics during the 1st century BCE? Is it A, the Parthians, B, the Scythians, C, the Kittites, or D, the Kushans? Pointless trivia. The Olmec were reimagined as aliens seeking the Mu Empire fusion reactor to survive in the seminal cartoon Les Merveilleuses d'Or, a cartoon that marked a whole generation in Quebec. Very cool. The Kardashians, never heard of C or D. So you think A? C, keeping up with the Kittites? C is the correct answer. The Kittites were Central Asian peoples, but from much later, about 400 years later. So the Parthians, the Scythians, and the Kushans were all very influential in Central Asia during the 1st century BCE. Moving along. 55. What happened to Parthian king Meherdates in 51 BC to keep him from retaining the throne? Is it A, the nobles exposed an incestuous relationship, B, he had his ears chopped off in public, C, nobles discovered a secret alliance with Rome, or D, he was overthrown after killing his own mother and brothers? 2 for 54. The correct answer here is B. He had his ears chopped off in public. Pretty horrible way to get kicked out. Fall machine. Okay, this is all bad. Yeah, I mean, ancient people, they're not the nicest, right? Also, welcome. All right, 56. What was the final straw that convinced the Praetorian Guard to kill Caligula? A, he killed his mother. B, he killed lots of patricians without a trial. C, he lost power in the East due to horrible foreign policy. Or D, he declared himself a god. The music was bonkers good. This is a Miss Rebold question. There's a specific reference that I can point at that was the final straw. And it was D. He declared himself a god. Specifically, once he declared himself a god, he demanded that everyone worship him as he passed by. And the Praetorian, who were his bodyguards, got really sick of doing it, and they killed him. You only learned some days ago that Caligula is just a nickname. Yes, it means little boots. His actual name was Gaius. Yep. So Caligula is from Caligul, which is a Roman military boot, basically. And he got nicknamed Little Boots because he, as a child, would go out on military campaign with his father, and they made him a little soldier's outfit, so he got nicknamed Little Boots. And he hated it. And he was seriously cray-cray. He may have been poisoned at a younger date, and he might have had syphilis really badly at a younger date that messed with his brain. So this is a bit of a, I don't know, a self-fulfilling question. Why are nativity sets wrong? Is it A, because they frequently have snow? B, they show the birth of Jesus in a barn? C, have figures for the wise men? Or D, all of the above? And I'll just go ahead and say this is a rant, and if you are with me, you'll know that all of these are correct. D, all of the above. He was not born during a month with snow. He was not born in a barn. He was not born in the presence of wise men, and nativity sets are horrible. Don't trust them. You've never seen one with snow or a barn. C is my pet peeve, though. That is the worst one. My parents have a collection, and they have ones with snow and barn, and I've seen snow and barn. You think they're cute? They're cute. Do your thing. You go do your nativity set. Just know they're wrong. They're made of plastic. They didn't have plastic then. I'll even accept that one, Infernal. If you had written that one in, I would have given you partial credit for it. Which of these was not a cause of the first Jewish revolt against Rome? A, Pompey going into the temple. B, sacrifice of a pig in the temple. C, Roman religious symbols on parades in Jerusalem. Or D, Nero demanding a statue of him in the temple. Oh yeah, you. Everybody celebrate Christmas on your own thing. The correct answer here is B, sacrifice of pig in the temple. The pig sacrifice was actually done under Seleucus, and it was the catalyst for, Antiochus, Antiochus IV specifically, and it was the catalyst for the first Jewish revolt against the Seleucid Empire, which set up the Hasmonean dynasty. So against Rome, all of those other three happened. All right, one of my favorite questions, something that I found out in my thesis research. Why did Nero banish the soon-to-be Emperor Vespasian from his presence? Is it A, Vespasian corrected his grammar? B, Vespasian constantly fell asleep while Nero was singing or reading poetry? C, Vespasian spoke out against poor military decisions? Or D, Vespasian laughed when Nero tripped? Is it please A? A for the lulz. Nero was more of a Harley guy. It has to be A. The correct answer is B. Vespasian was barred from the presence of the emperor because he fell asleep too often when Nero was singing or reciting poetry. And it really insulted Nero, but Vespasian was his best general and he couldn't kill the guy. So he just said, you can't be around me. Just go away and we'll communicate via intermediary. Great story. So who's a Vogon? Yes. Number 60. Imagine being that boring, right? Which of these was not a significant kingdom of the Upper Nile in the 1st century BCE? Is it A. Meroe, B. Blemyas, C. Himyar, or D. Aksum? And the answer is C. Himyar. Himyarites are not in the Nile River Valley during the 1st century BC. They are much later, several hundred years later. We're being visited once again by the puppy. Did you not just go outside? You just went outside. I heard you go outside. All right, here we go. Which faction was in the most control during the final rulers of the Han Dynasty? Is it A, mothers-in-law, B, the emperors themselves, C, eunuchs, or D, generals? Upper Nile should be the south. Yes. Upper Nile is in the south. Lots of guesses on this one, and the correct answer is the eunuchs. It was actually the eunuchs who had worked their way into the government and passed a whole bunch of laws through the emperor that let them retain titles and pass down stuff hereditarily, which you're not supposed to be able to do if you're a eunuch, because you don't have, the correct parts. Now, when the empire fell apart, the generals did kill all of the eunuchs, but by that point, the Han Dynasty was a joke. All right, here we go. We'll see if you're paying attention. Which culture is the origin of the chunky horse photo? Is it A, Goguryeo, B, Xiongnu, C, Xianbei, D, Tuyahun? If he is a eunuch, nothing should arise, correct? C is for chunky. I see you there, Vipers. I see you. You're just sitting behind me? If you know Chunky Horse and you love Chunky Horse, you should know that Chunky Horse is a picture of a Xianbei warrior. And if you don't, now you should feel guilty for loving Chunky Horse. No, I'm just joking. Don't ever feel guilty for loving Chunky Horse. All right, 63. Which of these was not introduced into Japan by migrants in the late Jomon period? Is it A, Dogu figure pottery, B, crop rotation, C, metallurgy, or D, wet rice cultivation? Which of these did not come to Japan by the late Jomon period? And all three of these actually came from Korea. And the correct answer is A. They were already making Dogu figure pottery. Crop rotation, metallurgy, and wet rice cultivation came from a Korean migration that showed up right around the late Jomon period and actually transitioned them into their next period of epic in Japanese history. I've got more questions on that, so I won't say too much about it. Here we go. Question. Which Kushan emperor ruled the country at its height? Was it A, Kashgar, B, Kanishka, C, Huvishka, or D, Vima Kadaphises? Kushan Empire at its height. I love the Kushan Empire. We got to talk about them a lot, and I was very excited to talk about them for several streams. Kushan, really cool group of people. D, because you haven't said D in a while. The correct answer here is B, Kanishka. Kanishka the Great was the most powerful of the Kushan emperors. Based on these answers, you should take up beatboxing. All right, number 65. What region was the most frequently debated point of contention between Parthia and Rome? Was it A, Pontia, B, Syria, D, the Levant, I'm sorry, C, the Levant, or D, Armenia? Pontia, Syria, the Levant, or Armenia? Parthia and Rome are fighting a lot. What area were they fighting over? Lots of guesses of C here. And the correct answer is Armenia. Armenia. By that point, Rome pretty firmly had its grips on the Levant and Syria and Pontia. It was Armenia that they were after. And there's lots of fighting between Parthia and Rome over Armenia. All right, here's a good one. I've been to the place that this guy died. Which emperor ruled Rome at its territorial maximum? Was it A, Nerva, B, Trajan, C, Hadrian, or D, Antoninus Pius? All right, Shmonite, good to see you. Hope laundry goes okay. Have a good night. D, because his name is long. Good enough reason to guess, right? Because he had a wall? That's a fair guess, too. The correct answer is B, Trajan. Trajan ruled the empire at its greatest extent in about 126 AD. Hadrian actually gave up a lot of land, and the reason he built that wall is to sort of pull back from Trajan's expansion and build more defensible boundaries. So he gave up Dacia and gave up a lot of territory in Mesopotamia and scaled back from what Trajan had done. All right, here we go. Here we go. Number 67. Which of these was not an important early Mayan city? Is it A, Kamanalhuyu, B, Tikal, C, El Mirador, or D, Teotihuacan? The Trajan horse. This professor sucks. You're putting a low rating on Rate My Professor. You wouldn't be the first person. It's no luck. El Dorado. C, because it sounds too Spanish. D. The correct answer is D, Teotihuacan, because Teotihuacan was not a Mayan city. El Mirador was a very large Mayan city. We just don't know what it was called during the day. So when we have discovered it, the thing that stands out about it is the large temple in the middle that pokes out above the jungle canopy. So El Mirador is like the lookout, or the window point where you can get up on top of this temple and see out over the jungle. They're actually doing excavation and clearing up El Mirador, and I'd love to go see it, but we don't know actually what it was called in the ancient world. But it was a very large Mayan city. Alrighty, here we go. Which political entity in early Korea had the most contact with Japan? Is it A, the Mahan Confederacy, B, Kingdom of Goguryeo, C, Kingdom of Pekcha, or D, Kingdom of Shilla? Teotihuacan's also not Aztec. You're believing, I believe you might be mixing that up with Tenochtitlan, which was the capital of the Aztec Empire. Teotihuacan was mostly abandoned by the time that the Aztec took over. So Teotihuacan and Tenochtitlan sound very, very similar, though, so don't worry about that. D, because you can actually pronounce it correctly. The correct answer is actually D, the Shilla. They had the most contact with early Japan, and might have actually conquered part of Japan. They called it the Kingdom of Wa, as in Wa, what is it good for? Here we go. Which of these was not among the earliest cultures in Southeast Asia? Is it A, the Pew city-states, B, the Khmer Kingdom, C, the Champa Kingdom, or D, the Funan Confederacy? Shane, why? Why what? We've covered all of this. We've talked about all of this. You have 1 of 68 points. Awesome. Everybody has unlimited free points, by the way. We're not keeping score. C, even though Funan sounds kind of fun. Okay. The correct answer here is B, correct, Snowlock. The Khmer Kingdom. Now, Khmer were from the Southeastern Asian region, but they were much, much later. We are just getting to the Khmer where we are right now in the 6th, 7th century. Not fair. You came in the middle of the semester. Perfectly fine. I understand. It's okay. 71. You lived in Cambodia. Look at there. That's awesome. I didn't know you lived there. Really cool. Which of these was not one of the belligerents in the War of Three Kingdoms in China? Is it A, Yan, B, Wu, C, Shi, or D, Wei? Get it? Do Wei. Maybe we should start paying attention to Shane streams instead of just looking for things to make puns out of. Hey, I mean, if you're having fun making puns, enjoy yourself. You are free to enjoy the stream in whatever way you want to. I'm just glad everybody is having a good time. I really am. And if you get a little bit, you're good stuff. So it's not the way. You lived in Phnom Penh? I'd love to go to Cambodia. Wasn't Cal one of the three? Cal was the ruler of one of these kingdoms. You learn, you just forget straight away. That's okay. The correct answer here is Yan. Cao Cao was the king of Wei. And he fought Shi, which was ruled by Liu Bei and Zhuge Liang, one of the greatest military strategists ever, and Wu, and it was really, really long. You call it the Cao dynasty? Oh, okay, cool. I could see that. Some people call it Xiao Wei, so you're good. Same group. Okay, here we go. Who won the War of Three Kingdoms? Was it Wu, Shu, or Wei? I didn't say it, but Sun Quan was the ruler of Wu. Wacko? Wu's on first. The butcher, the baker, and the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. The correct answer here is C. The Wei won the War of Three Kingdoms. Moving along. What was the name of the dynasty that the Sima clan took when it claimed imperial power? Was it the Wuhan, the Zhou, the Jin, or the Shang? Or the Jedi, right? Cao Cao was kind of a turd. He really was. He was a pretty horrible turd. The Wuhan, the Wu-Tang, it is forever. It is forever. You know that dream where you find out you have to take an exam and you didn't know that you were taking the course? This is that exam. Fall Machine. It's all just for fun. The correct answer here is C, the Jin Dynasty. The Jin Dynasty. When the Sima clan took over, they pushed out the last of Cao Cao's family, and they declared themselves the Jin Dynasty. And you're naked. Wow. Wow, that's pretty powerful. That's a bad dream indeed. Which of these was not a successor state to the Kushan Empire? Is it A, Sassanid Persia, B, Vakataka, C, Gupta, or D, Rouran Khanate? So the Kushan Empire fell apart and lots of different kingdoms kind of popped up out of it. Which of these is not one of those? California? California did not come from the collapse of the Kushan Empire. And your teeth are all falling out? See the Gupta, but not. Kingdom Come with Alex Ross art. At least you have your pajamas on. Cool. The correct answer here is D, the Rouran Khanate. They were in the region, but they were around later. They called it the New California Republic. Yeah, because, you know, why not a Fallout reference? I like Fallout. All right, here we go. Who was the first emperor of the Sassanid Persians? Was it Ardashir, Shapur, Bahram, or Narse? The Banana Republic? Yeah. It was C. Because Tuna's going to guess C. Ross Perot, Tupac Shakur. The correct answer here is Ardashir. He was the first of the Persian emperors. Ardashir. 74 times, can't make me wrong. All right, here we go. 76. Which of these was not something that Roman Emperor Elagabalus did? So he did 3 of these things. He did not do one of these things. Which one of these things did he not do? A. Married a Vestal Virgin. B. Divorced the Vestal Virgin to marry a gladiator. C. Offered huge sums of money to anyone who could perform sexual reassignment surgery on him. D. Successfully bribed the Praetorian Guard to kill his brother. This is 75. I just numbered them wrong. Why would he offer huge sums of money? 3 truths and a lie. This is like 3 truths and a lie. Which one is the lie? Fix the pipes in Flint, Michigan. The correct answer is D. He did not successfully bribe the Praetorian Guard to kill his brother. He did marry a Vestal Virgin. He did divorce that Vestal Virgin to marry a male gladiator that he called the Empress. And then he did offer huge sums of money as an open call to any physician in the Roman Empire that could successfully graft female reproductive organs into his body. Yeah, he did. Emperor Doubtfire. There we go. Alrighty. 76. Which Korean political entity benefited most from Jin China being weak? Is it the A, Gaia Confederacy, B, Goguryeo, C, Pekja, or D, Shilla? No one took him up on the offer. He did end up getting assassinated, though, by the Praetorian Guard. Who benefited the most from China being real weak? Jin, China's younger brother. They killed all those. Heads up. They just killed all of their younger brothers. The correct answer here is Goguryeo. Goguryeo benefited from Jin China being weak because the Wei Kingdom had beaten the crap out of Goguryeo. And then when the Jin started falling apart, they were like, yeah, we can take back all of our land. And so they benefited quite a bit from Jin China being really weak. Here we go, 77. Which of these periods of Japan or Japanese history refers to large keyhole-shaped burial mounds? Is it A, the Jomon period, B, the Yayoi period, C, the Kofun period, or D, Yamato period? Brittany knows. Brittany and anybody that also guessed C is correct. It is the Kofun period. Rodriguez Hill period. The Lock and Key period. Is that what we're after here? So yeah, the Kofun period are these giant mounds that the rulers and nobility made to bury themselves in. And they're shaped like keyholes. And that gives the name of the period, the Kofun period. All right. Oop. I missed. Here we go. Emperor 78, or number 78. Why was Emperor Xiaowu of Jin assassinated? A. He refused to listen to his generals. B. He rebelled against his mother-in-law. C. He was caught using sorcery. D. He insulted his favorite concubine. You were absent for a few classes because you got a cold a few times. C, but it doesn't sound too odd. This is the period of time where everybody was sorcerying in Japan, in Chinese history, right? Everybody was getting like ensorcelled and stuff like that. A, he refused to listen to his generals. Right. I think he would have been acceptable behavior, yeah, if he was doing sorcery. Oh, C, that was okay. So the correct answer here is actually D. He called his favorite concubine old and ugly. She was 30 years old, by the way. And so she got really ticked off and bribed his guards to go into his room at night and strangle him with his bed sheets. There you go. Don't call your concubine old and ugly. There you go. All right, number 79. Seems fair. What really cool nickname is ascribed to Samudragupta? Samudragupta, most powerful of the Gupta kings. Is it A, crusher of barbarians, B, expeller of the vile, C, exterminator of kings, or D, master of all he sees? Check your game, Emperor dudes, right? Master of the universe, yeah. Here we are. I mean, A is the coolest of those nicknames. I like Expeller of the Vile, but I mean, A is a pretty cool nickname, right? The correct answer is C, Exterminator of Kings. One of his later descendants referred to Samudragupta as the Exterminator of Kings, because he beat the crap out of a lot of people and expanded the empire really, really big. He is the master. Queen is the ruler of the universe. A hangover is also Expeller of the Vile, right? You just puke it all up. Here we go. How did Sassanid Emperor Shapur III die? Was he poisoned by the nobles at his own wedding? Was he skinned alive by the Romans? Was he crushed by his own tent when it collapsed? Or D, he just died of old age? Wouldn't it be funny if it was just old age? It was like, I got you. The correct answer is actually C. Yes. He was in his tent, and the nobles cut the support strings to his tent, and all of the support poles and pillars and stuff crushed him to death. And he died. Oh, the puppy is outside woofing now. But that's okay. Oh, Queen was Princess of the Universe. I got you. Okay, what did the Edict of Milan issued by Constantine do? Did it A, stabilize Roman monetary policy? B, it outlawed adultery? C, it legalized Christianity? Or D, it split the empire into 4 parts? What did that old Edict of Milan do? C is for Christ and cookie. It gave a special district to Disney in Florida. C is for cookie. That's good enough for me. The correct answer is C. It legalized Christianity. One of the most important legal documents in history. And I don't say that from a religious point of view. I say that from a historical point of view. It really did change the world. And if you want to know more about that, go watch 81. 82. Which of these was not a popular mystery cult in Rome? A, the cult of Isis. B, the cult of Mithras. C, the cult of Sol Invictus. Or D, the cult of Apuleius. Yeah, you can pray to God now? Yeah. Blue Oyster Cult, that works as well. Not fearing the Reaper, these are important things, right? I'm I'm starting to get some of these right, but 80 failures have made me reticent to type the answer. Don't fear the Caesar. There we go. Sol Invictus was an SA football team. The correct answer here is the cult of Apuleius. All of these were popular mystery cults, and Apuleius is actually a writer who wrote a book called The Golden Ass, which is about his experience in the cult of Isis. Is one of the only Roman novels that exists. Not that ISIS. This is like Egyptian ISIS, not Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. Here we go. Which of these emperors was killed at the Battle of Adrianople? Is it A. Valens, B. Gratian, C. Jovian, or D. Valentinian II? You recall seeing a YouTube video about 20 years ago saying that Christianity took a lot from Mithras. There is a lot of argument about that being the case, specifically with how Constantine managed to try to consolidate the solar worship, the emperor position, and the Christological monotheism. But you get what you get, right? Joby? Dude, I haven't heard from Joby in so long. I hope he's doing okay. The answer here is A. Valens. He was killed by the Goths at the Battle of Adrianople. Thought that he was going to win because he was outnumbered. And then he realized that the Gothic army was just the army, and he's like, we could go attack them. And he went to go attack them, and the cavalry showed up. And it turns out the cavalry was out scavenging for food. And when the cavalry showed up, his flank was exposed, and the Gothic cavalry just rode straight on into the mess and wrecked him. And he got cut off from his bodyguard, and he died. Thought he died in a plane crash. No, that was Leonard Skinner. He's swamped with work. Well, at least he's okay, right? Okay, but alive. Okay. Which of these was not an important client kingdom on the border between Rome and Persia? A. Iberia, B. Lazica, C. Albania, or D. Dacia? Richie Valens. Not a lot of guesses on this one, so I'll just go ahead and tell you it was Dacia. Lazius. All of these were actually kingdoms that were on the border between Rome and Persia. Dacia is in the Balkan Peninsula, just north of the Danube River, basically. And they were a pretty powerful group of people at that point, but they were not a client kingdom of either side. All right, here we go. This one is for some people that already know the answer, and it's kind of goofy. What American culture is known for making graphically lewd pottery? Is it A, the Adena Hopewell, B, the Hohokam, C, Tiwanaku, or D, the Moche? Twitch. Lumpy, I was hoping you would be here for this one. And I did have to have a little bit of a pun, because it is indeed the Moche. And I can't share their stuff on stream. It is incredibly lewd. You feel attacked. No, the other word, aroused. So, Google at your own delight. You've excavated Hohokam pottery, and I am jealous. I see what you made. Yeah, there we go. Google at your own delight. Did I miss the question about Spartacus? Yes, we did. It was like question 46 or so. We had a question, yes. None of the answers are correct because it's spelled lewd. It is spelled lewd. I wonder why that didn't underline me. Huh. Okay. Here we go. Who was the most powerful of all Korean rulers in the 5th century? Was it Gwanggae-to? Was it Khitan? Was it Buyo? Or was it Jiangsu? Who is Spartacus? Answer me. Bye-bye, Buyo. I am Spartacus. The correct answer here is Jiangsu. Now, his father, Gwanggae-to, was responsible for rebuilding the kingdom and reestablishing it as a power, but Jiangsu took that steps further and conquered even more territory and became the most powerful Korean ruler of the 5th century. Here we go. Fun question, a great moment in history. What item did an assassin throw at Emperor Shao of Liusong, China, to make the emperor fall and thus get murdered? Was it A, a dagger, B, a chair, C, a hairbrush, or D, a doorknob? A shoe. Now that's what you throw at a president standing behind a podium when he says that he has helped your country establish democracy. Dagger is too boring. Trust Brittany. The correct answer is a doorknob. So the assassin showed up to kill Emperor Shao, and Emperor Shao, fought the assassin off and escaped out of the palace and was running across the grounds, and the assassin threw a doorknob at him and hit him in the head and knocked him silly, and then ran up and stabbed him to death. There we go. All right, 88. When the court eunuch Zhang Ai was discovered trying to assassinate the emperor, which of these was not among Zhang Ai's punishments? So all of these are part of his punishments except for one. A, cut his nose off. B, cut his big toes off. C, whipped to death. D, decapitation. E, body ground up. F, remains burned with fecal matter. C, listen to Justin Bieber. D, decapitation. E, body ground up. This guy really hacked the emperor off pretty badly. I love how nobody's going for, like, cut his nose off, cut his big toes off. Who was the executioner? Emperor Heard? Ooh. May I point out again that all of this is bad? Yes, all of this is bad. F is the correct answer. All of this stuff did happen, and there was more stuff because they also tattooed criminal all over his face before they did it. So they tattooed all of his face. They then cut his nose off. They cut his big toes off. They whipped him to death. They chopped his head off, and then they ground his body into paste, basically. Yep. There we go. That seems like a lot of effort. Yeah, well, he tried to kill the emperor, and the emperor wasn't happy. Crazy thing, the emperor also did the same thing to his wife, the empress. After C, the rest doesn't seem to matter much, right? Someone got paid overtime for all of that. Okay, here we go. 89. Which of these countries did the Huns not completely wreck? A, Rome. B, Sassanid Persia. C, Gupta India. Or D, Northern Wei China. Which of these did the Huns not wreck? Baltimore. I thought that was The Wire, right? Define wreck. Cause significant damage to. The correct answer here is actually D, Northern Wei China. The Huns invaded Rome multiple times and burned multiple cities. And everybody always thinks about the Huns with Attila But the Huns actually burned really big cities in the Balkans and disrupted trade between the East and the West for about a decade. Defined not, as in they didn't invade and wreck northern China. Northern Wei was a ways away. Yeah. They basically ended the Gupta rule in India, and they took giant chunks of land from Sassanid Persia. Define did, alas. Are we really going to go into that? All right, number 90. When Persian Emperor Peroz I made a treaty with the Huns, how did he deceive them? A. He sent them a fake sister to marry. B. He gave them land he didn't control. C. He promised them money he didn't have. Or D. He sent assassins disguised as ambassadors. This professor really likes making the answers C. B or C or both. The correct answer is A. He said, we can make an alliance and you can marry my sister. Your chief can marry my sister. And he sent them a random woman that was not his sister. And when they found out that she wasn't actually the empress or the emperor's sister, they got real mad and invaded and caused a lot of trouble. So there we go. Dun dun dun. Yeah, surprise. Deception. This is not them. This is the stunt doubles, right? You've captured their stunt doubles. I got that reference. Why was the patriarch John Chrysostom exiled from Rome? A. He insulted the emperor's manhood. B. He preached against adultery. C. He tried to conduct unapproved negotiations with the barbarians. D. He preached against the empress's clothes. He was part of the patriarchy. He was literally a patriarch. He was the leader of the church in Constantinople. Plot twist, it was Willem Dafoe and drag. Yeah, we actually just talked about this one recently. This has been a possible answer more than once, so it must be an answer. The correct answer is D. He started preaching sermons about how richly dressed and flashily dressed the empress was, and how she needed to tone that back because the empire was in trouble, and how she was dressing herself like a harlot. And at that point, the empress went to the emperor and was like, exile this guy. And he did. And he did. Do you know how much of Chrysostom's work you've read? I don't know, maybe a lot. Have you read a lot of Chrysostom stuff? Who was the last Roman emperor who had any real power of his own? Meaning that he could act of his own volition. Is it A, AiH, B, Majorian, C, Romulus Augustulus, or D, Odoacer? And that's supposed to have a C right here. A lot. Majorian's mask. MC Hammer. The correct answer here is Majorian. AiH was a Roman general. Majorian was the last emperor to have any real power. Now, Romulus Augustulus was the last emperor, but he was not able to act unilaterally. He was the puppet of the barbarians, and this guy, Odoacer, was the barbarian that pushed this guy, Romulus Augustulus, off the throne. So when Majorian's reign was cut short because he got assassinated, that was the end of Roman emperor's ability to act unilaterally. Lastius because Tyrannus, sure. Darth Sidious, fair guess. 93. Which of these was not a significant barbarian kingdom after the fall of the Western Roman Empire? Is it the Ostrogoths, the Visigoths, the Vandals, or the Huns? Must be D, though, since it wouldn't have mattered. Ooh, wrong button. The correct answer here is the Huns. The Huns by that point had fallen apart and were no longer a substantial state. Ostrogoths were posted up mostly in the Balkans. The Visigoths were in Spain and southern France, and the Vandals controlled all of northern Africa and part of the islands in the Mediterranean, specifically the Balearics, parts of Sicily, and Sardinia and Corsica. Yeah, the Huns were gone in the Roman world at that point. There was still a small, tiny little pocket of them that was basically being the whipping boy of the Persians, but, you know. All right, 94. What was the largest city in the Americas during the 5th century? So this is modern era. Was it Kamanalhuyu, Cahokia, Copan, or Teotihuacan? Biggest city in the 5th century. You paid attention on that stream. Nice. Or the Copacabana, right? Unless the 5th century is the twist. No. That's not the twist. The correct answer is Teotihuacan. It was at its maximum extent of cultural and geographic impact. Teotihuacan was a big old empire at this point. Really, really powerful. Teotihuacan itself was in the top 5 biggest cities on Earth at that time. All right. Number 95. Who was the first emperor of Japan that we can firmly place chronologically? Meaning we know for a fact when this guy ruled, when he started and when he ended. Is it Kenmei? Is it Bidatsu? Is it Suiko? Or is it Shotoku? Tom Cruise. This is the last samurai. A, B, C, D. Something like that. I'm going to go on a limb and say C. The correct answer here is Emperor Kenmei. Emperor Kenmei is the first one that we can conclusively put dates to. Saw a lot of people. The next emperor is Bidatsu. The next emperor is Suiko. Now, Suiko is the first ruling empress that we can put dates to. Tom Cruise is using witchcraft to save Japan. Shotoku is not actually ever an emperor. He is only ever a regent, specifically to Suiko. Shotoku was Suiko's uncle. All right. Which dynasty of China finally succeeded in uniting the region for the first time in about 200 years? Is it the Han, the Jin, the Tang, or the Sui? Which dynasty finally united them all? Nixon. Oh, the Wu-Tang. Tang is what astronauts drink, but not really. The correct answer here is the Sui dynasty. Han had fallen, and that triggered the War of Three Kingdoms. Jin had collapsed in the early 400s, and the subsequent big battles between all of the countries. Tang is actually after Sui. We haven't talked about them yet. We will next time we get to China. But Sui was, Emperor Wen specifically, was the guy that put everything back together for the first time in a long time. Here we go. Which of these is the most accurate description of religious ideology in 5th century Southeast Asia? Is it Hindu in the West, Buddhist in the East? Is it Hindu in the East, Buddhist in the West? Is it Hindu in the North and Buddhist in the South? Or is it Hindu in the South and Buddhist in the North? Han was hanging out with Chewie, Jin was drunk, and Tong was in space. This question is giving me testing PTSD. Hindu in the streets, Buddhist in the sheets. Hindu on first, Buddhist on second. Oh, well. So the correct answer here is A. It was mostly Hindu in the West, and that makes sense because that was the side of Southeastern Asia that is closest to India, and Buddhist in the East because that was the side that was closest to China. So China was, of course, influencing a lot of Eastern Southeast Asia, and India was influencing Western Southeast Asia. So there we go. There we go. Which ruler is credited with establishing Turkish independence from the Ruran? Is it A. Ashina, B. Kagan Burana, C. Buman Kagan, or D. Yabgu? You could record yourself. Oh, 27. That's actually... No, I was just copying and pasting stuff. This is supposed to be 98. Baba Yaga. The answer is C. Buman Kagan. Now, he was from the Ashina clan. But this is complete gibberish that I made up. And Yabgu was the name of the lesser sort of political ruler that took over when the Go-Turks split into East and West. All right, number 99. To where did the nobles of Persia exile Kavad I? Was it the Palace of Darkness, the Prison of Despair, the Castle of Oblivion, or the Fortress of Solitude? Double checking that you've been doing the answers from memory. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a key. They hung out with Superman, the Sun Spirit. I mean, I can show you, like, everything that I'm looking at on... Well, I can't. Well, I mean, I guess I could if it would work. Like, I don't have a lot of space here, but, like, you can see everything that I've got up. There's the, like, this is OBS, and this is like the file where I have all of my outlines and stuff, but it's not open. Here's the chat. There's my background, which right now is showing Strike Freedom Gundam, which is my favorite Gundam, and here's the outline, or the actual thing itself, and you can tell that let's see, I don't have any notes down here on it. I don't have any notations that this is, showing any right answer. Waves itself in chat. There you go. Melania's bedroom. Oh, wow. The same place they sent Batman. The answer here is the Castle of Oblivion. They sent Kavad to the Castle of Oblivion. Why isn't Shane showing us the second and third monitors? I only have one monitor. Only have one monitor. Shane is a sophisticated AI. We're not trying to do a gotcha, just trying to get into the mind of a teacher and seeing if there were any preference to how the order of the correct answers were the wrong answers. No, just kind of make them as I see them. The other two are in my head. All right, final question, number 100. And this is something that, you all can answer. What's the most memorable thing that you all have learned in the last 99 episodes? So something that has stuck with you. It doesn't have to be a fact. It might be a trend or something that you've just noticed about history. People suck. Balrogs have wings. Moche pottery. I've had such a good time hanging out with you all. Rat butt. The assassin command. Assassinations are fun. Being a ruler is likely to get you killed. This chat leans heavily into animal memes. I've got pipes. I'll take it. Asian history is damn tricky but fun. I'll take that too. Wait, not one question about Beyonce? That was all I studied. Roman statues used to have gems in them and they weren't made to look creepy. Correct. That I never want to be a ruler. Yeah. How many lives have I lived to know all of this? Just the one. I'm 38. I've lived 38 years. And something I need to learn to keep watching Shaman Canis to learn more history. JMR, thank you, man. I really do appreciate that. We still don't know who Spartacus actually was. People have been terrible to each other since the beginning of humans. That I really love archaeology. No, I'm 38 years old. I learned that Shane thinks potatoes are boring. Not that I think potatoes are boring, that it's very difficult to do a stream specifically about potatoes. It would be like, that chonky horse can win wars. Yeah. They can. They can. Oh, I reordered my stuff when I wasn't paying attention. Shane is best teacher? All. Okay, Shane. Okay, we get it. You've lived through medieval Japan. I do love me some medieval Japan. That is one of my faves. I do quite love medieval Japan. You've also learned that Shane can't use his OBS commands to save his life. That is true. That is true. I need to get a stream deck. Cave showed me how to use a stream deck, and I need to get one, but that's for after I get back from Turkey. Shane goes to his away scream like every stream. I do that. I do, because like I click things badly, and I need to optimize my clicking. Not very pro streamer of me to do that, right? But that is all for me, and I know that we ran pretty late tonight, but I knew that would take a while. I don't mind. It's a great fun to hang out with you all, and I really do appreciate the fact that you all are willing to spend your time hanging out with me, and I don't take that lightly. You all rock. You all are amazing people. You must go to bed. Hopefully have a Mesoamerican wet lumpy. Take it here. You got here late. You must say the history of Middle Earth is what you're doing is masterful. Oh, thank you, Grow a Forest. I appreciate that. I really do love that stuff too. Trivia was a great idea. Yeah, I got that idea and I really liked it. He used to be backwards in the days right on tablets. Yeah, you know, after you learn cuneiform, everything after that is just not the same. It's become one of your favorite things. Oh man, thanks, Grow Forest. That's appreciated. You should give the test to my students. No, my World Civ students don't get as much learning as you all do. The 500 episodes trivia stream is going to kill off some of exhaustion. No, I don't know if I'll be doing this again. I don't know if I want to make this a common thing. We might do something else for 200. I don't know. This was just something I thought would be really interesting. And I wouldn't do all 200. I would just do like maybe 101 to 200 if I were going to do that again. And that's assuming I get to 200 episodes. You know, I didn't plan on getting to 100 episodes. I really seriously thought that this would like flop after about 10 or 15 episodes and it wouldn't go anywhere. And now, I mean, it's doing a thing. It's not, you know, it's not flopping. So that's on you. And I really appreciate that. But I am rather tired. It has been a very long week, and that was a long stream. Just to double check, yeah, I did all of that from memory because I'm a weirdo like that. But this is my passion. I love history. Not enough history to talk about after 10 or 15 episodes. I'm still going, what do I do now? Yeah, pretty much. Don't save a VOD of 101. Are you kidding me? It's free education and you're loving it. Oh, thank you, Late Bloomer. I really do appreciate that. We need to get Shane to 1K. You envy my brain. It has the bad sides. So and trust me, I really do love the fact that I have a very good memory. But all of the memories get stuck up there, including the really, really crappy ones. And something can happen that is completely innocuous, and I can be right back in the middle of a really horrible memory that is just as vivid as the moment that it happened. And it can kind of suck. Nomad just caught the end. Congrats on the 100. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Nomad. Will next Thursday be my last before Turkey? I believe so, yes. Because I will probably not be able to do a viewer request episode on Tuesday before I leave, because I have to fly out at like 5:30 in the morning, which means that I have to, like, I'll probably be driving at like 2 in the morning to get there. But you're reading a lot today about bad memory caused by trauma, so you get it. Shane is part elephant. You know what they say about a man with a big memory. Well, you should consider visiting Phnom Penh. I would love to go. I really would love to go. I really, really would. Or Thailand. Right? You know, it's just right next door. You have to have such a big turkey sandwich that you have to take streams off. No, I'll throw this up one more time. I am going to Turkey, and I'm going to be spending 2 weeks in Turkey. If you would like to participate in that through some bonus content, you can check the link right there to the Discord and look at kind of a tier-based donation system. It's kind of like Kickstarter without using Kickstarter. And for as little as $5, I can send you emails every day that I'm over there talking about what we did and sending you some pictures, and you can read all the rest of that stuff. Just saying you'll know somebody in Thailand. There we go. Yes, and I'm going for archaeological and history purposes. I'm not going to like have a vacation. This is for historical work, and we're trying to get published research out of this. So going between Cambodia, Thailand, and Vietnam doesn't take too long. Yeah, it's all just kind of like right down there in the little pocket corner. It's like OnlyFans, but what OnlyFans wants investors to think it is. Yes, it's educational. And we've got a Discord that you can get invited to and all that stuff. I don't want to do the hard sell on anybody.
We shall have camels.
Sci-fi! Holy crap!
And escort. Provisions, visit vehicles, and thanks. You're welcome.
Dang, Sci-fi, thank you so much. That's incredible. You'll be in the middle of a move. Well, it won't go away. The content stuff that I'm making won't go away. Wait, LOL. Archaeologists really dig old sites. Sci-fi, shoot me a message if you need to. That's just Twitch, though. Yeah, minus the feet. I can't do feet stuff. You can't do feet stuff. Anyway, that wasn't me. Okay, cool.
We shall have camels, horses, an armed escort, provisions,
You all.
vehicles, and thanks. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Nomad. Much appreciated. You all are amazing folks. I'm going to go now before that turns into a habit. Okay, so we're going to go do a raid. I'm rather tired. It's time to get off stream. I've been on here for 2.5 hours. That's way more than I usually do. Someone is donating in other people's names. Okay. Okay, well, cool beans. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. Run away from the money. I am kind of doing that. Let's who have we not rated in a while? let's go raid Damage. We haven't raided Damage in a little bit.
England, where is the Okie?
So we're going to go raid Damage, who is an artist your buddy Cryptid is on, making awesome digital art. Sci-Fi, if you shoot me a message with that person's name, I usually like to go hang out in somebody's stream before before I bring a raid there. And that's not anything against Cryptid. I'm sure Cryptid is a cool person. But I don't know. It's just kind of like a, I don't know. I'm weird like that. It's purely a me being weird thing. Don't think anything about it except that Shane's weird. So here we go. We're going to go raid the Damage. Thank you all so much for hanging out and having a good time. It was a great stream. Happy 100 for everybody. It would not have happened without you, and you all are awesome folks. So have a good night. Yell adventure when we get to Damage's stream, and if you've got those lovely adventure hat emotes, throw that stuff in the chat. Thank you again, Nixolotl, and to whomever's doing the donating in other people's names. Thank you very, very much. I will do what I can. Nixolotl, that really is amazing. Thank you for taking your time and skill and art and making that for me. That was above and beyond. You rock. You all are awesome people. I really do appreciate it. I gotta go though. I really do. I'm getting really, really tired. See everybody next time. Maybe sometime over the weekend I'll do some Gundam stuff. Otherwise, it'll be next week. And yeah, take it easy. Have a good one.